Hello, viewers. This is Stuart Sutclif, faithfully converting oxygen into carbon dioxide on a daily basis. While searching the internet, I found something really interesting. It's a question and answer session between Kelsi German and I guess, a reporter. His name's Dave Bangert with the Lafayette Journal and Carrier. This was published on September 27th, so as of the making of my video right here, it's fairly new stuff. So I want to read it to you. Okay? More than a year and a half after Libby German and Abby Williams were murdered near Delphi, Kelsi German finds herself away at college telling her sister's story whenever and whoever she can. Delphi, Indiana. For the first week or so, Kelsi German was at Ball State University, adjusting to life as a freshman on a Muncie campus with about 7 times as many students as there were in her hometown. She did her best to keep her last name to herself. Back at home in Delphi, everyone had lived through the brutal news and constant reminders about how Libby German and Abby Williams, a pair of eighth graders, had been found murdered on February 14, 2017, a day after they spent a school holiday on a popular hiking trail on the outskirts of town, about 20 miles northeast of Lafayette. Everyone in the town of 2,800 people seemed to have a connection in some way. Even then, German said people she grew up around tended to be very careful around her. Not always sure what to say, even 19 months into the unsolved search for the killer of her sister and her friend. What she wondered what it would be like to pile into that freshman orientation at Ball State. I didn't want to overpower how people thought of me or who wanted to be my friend because I was the sister of a murder victim, German said. Eventually I opened up. I'm not sure I can keep quiet about this at this point. Less than a month into her college career, she gave a speech in COM 210, a class called Fundamentals of Public Speaking. Boy, some of us could use a course like that, especially me. About her sister, Abby, who would have been sophomores at Delphi Community High School this semester. About how the image of a man walking across the abandoned Monon High Bridge and a recording of a man's voice saying, "Down the hill," each found on Libby's phone, made national news. About how hundreds of investigators from 24 local, state, and federal agencies planted themselves in Delphi for months trying to track a suspect. About how, to this day, police have made no arrests. And about how, more than a year and a half after Abby and Libby were killed, German made herself a social media contact for the case, doing everything from guiding would-be tipsters to the proper authorities to posting a photo of the tattoo she got on her back in the spring, spelling out Libby's name followed by, "I can't see you, but I can feel you." Anything to keep the story alive, German said. On Saturday, she'll come home for the second annual Abby and Libby Celebration of Life, a day of games, raffles, and concerts at the Delphi Community High School football field to raise money for a softball complex being built in the girls' honor. Question: you've got school going on right now. How's that transition been for you? German: at first it was kind of difficult. When you go from being with your family and friends all the time and then going to something completely new, it's really hard, of course, but I'm trying to find the good in it. I'm advocating here and I put out flyers in Muncie and I'm starting to blog, so I'm using my new resources here to help me not only cope but to advocate for the girls too. Question: what was it like coming from Delphi, where people were really immersed in what happened to Abby and Libby, to a place that was away from home, even just an hour and a half away? Kelsi German: to be honest, When I came here, I wasn't going to tell anyone. And then I kind of started to notice that when I would wear my Abby and Libby t-shirts, sometimes nobody really said anything. So I started asking people if they had heard of Delphi, or somebody would ask me where I'm from, and they wouldn't know where Delphi was. And I noticed not very many people here watch the news. And not very many people here knew about it. So that's kind of why I started to tell people about it. What a sweet girl. Question. When you say that you were worried about what kind of reaction it'd have, did you think it was going to be a good reaction, a bad reaction, or a reaction where they just wanted to be around you for the wrong reasons, or be away from you for the wrong reasons? German. I guess it's a little of all of it. At first I was worried about people would either want to be my friend or not want to be my friend based on it, and then I was afraid that they would guard their feelings, because at home what people would do is they wouldn't know what to say to me, so they wouldn't talk to me. So I think I was afraid of that happening, of people not wanting to talk to me because of it. Question. Did you find that in Delphi? German. It wasn't that they were avoiding me, it was that they would talk to me. They weren't sure what they could and couldn't say. So when they talked to me, they would kind of tiptoe around it. And they wanted to ask you how you were doing, but they wouldn't, because they didn't know what they could say. But I think it's gotten a lot better. Question. You started your Twitter feed at Liberty G. Sister, dedicated to the case in May. What was the purpose there? German. My family, we all went to CrimeCon, a convention in May in Nashville, which was a super cool experience. We've never heard of it before, and I met Michelle Cruz, whose sister was the last victim of the Golden State Killer. Michelle played a very big part in the social media campaign of the Golden State Killer, or of trying to find him and seek out who he was. And we had a lot in common because Michelle's sister died, and then my sister died. So you don't meet a lot of people whose sisters are murdered, so we kind of grew a connection there. And through her, I learned a lot of stuff that we needed to do differently. This is a pretty cool interview of Kelsi opening up like this. So I started doing podcasts and getting into social media, and when we were talking, we said one of the big problems is that people my age don't watch the news or read news articles as often as they should, as often as they listen to podcasts or watch YouTube or go through social media. My goal was to reach more people my age, or even a little bit older, who don't watch that kind of stuff and don't hear about it, so that maybe I could reach the one person who needs to hear about it. Question. Have you seen some results from that? German. I haven't reached the amount of people I was hoping I would have reached by now, but I have reached so many people who needed to talk to me, that so many more people who are willing to get involved in the case now. I think it's reaching more people, and I am reaching more high schoolers and more college students because of it. What I've done more than anything, though, is I've met people who are going through the same things I'm going through, so I'm helping people more than anything else, really. Question. Did the suspects you meet, did that surprise you to meet so many people in similar situations? German. Yeah. When you go through it, you think that you're alone and that not very many people go through this. But when I started my Twitter and Instagram accounts, I met more people who are victims, family members, that I ever thought I would meet. I've met hundreds of people who have gone through similar circumstances, or maybe not even similar, but go along with the same lines of what's happened. Question. Sounds as if you're putting a lot into it. How are you holding up? German. I'm a lot better than I was a year ago, but it doesn't really get easier. I'm doing better, which is good. Question. I saw that you talked a little bit on one of your posts about rumors. Are you getting a lot of that from people who, it seems, have put a lot into following the case too? German. Oh, yeah. There's plenty of rumors. I think the newest one is that I'm pregnant and married and my dad is living with me, but I'm in college and I'm not married and I'm not pregnant. But I've had so many that I've had to squash that it's like insane. They come up with the craziest things. Boy, we know that. We know that about the rumor mill and the craziest things. Really crazy, crazy. But even some of that might have its good, a silver lining behind the dark cloud. It's still getting the word out there. Question. Why do you think that is? German. I tried, that's the rumors. Why do you think that is? I try to believe that all are trying to do good, but I think that since there hasn't really been any updates or anything, they're trying to come up with something to talk about so that people will still talk about the case. Bingo! But the only thing they can think of is to make something up because nothing's coming out, so that's what they're doing. Yeah. Question. I know you said you're looking forward to the weekend being home. Do you have any concerns too? German. Oh yeah, well, I'm really looking forward to all the activities we have, but as for what I'm dreading, I'm scared that people who are going to bombard me with questions because I'm doing a lot of stuff now on the case, and they have been asking me instead of everybody else because I'm the one everyone sees now. I think I hate really big crowds because I look at everybody in the crowd and try to find the guy. So I guess I'm scared that I'm going to waste the day looking for him and not enjoy it. But actually, I'm very excited for the day in general. It's hoping to be a great weekend. Oh, what a sweet thing. It's a shame she's got to go through that crap. Always has to look over her shoulder. Question. But you do go around thinking that you're going to see this guy at any minute? Question mark. German. Oh yeah. She's poor. The poor girl's traumatized by this crap. She'll never get over it, man. You know, she's traumatized by her sister's murder and her friend. So yeah, that's always been a thing investigators say. The guy from the high bridge is out there, and he's going to make a misstep. That was a question. German. Mm-hmm. Even in Muncie, it feels super safe here, but I'm walking to class and I'm like, what if he's walking next to me and I don't even notice that he's right there? Because he could have been right next to me because I don't know who he is, but I do that pretty much everywhere I go. Question, do you think there's going to be a forever thing, or do you think it's going to get solved? Oh, how's she going to answer that question? German. I think it's going to get solved. I do too, kind of, eventually, but who knows? Okay, so she says, I think it's going to get solved, but thinking he could be right there someday, that's what's going to happen until then. If you go, the second annual Abby and Libby celebration of life will be 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Delphi Community High School football field, 301 Armory Road in Delphi. The event includes games, raffles, and music from Levi Riggs, Kyla Edging, Johnny Brave, and Grace Scott Band. These are probably all country bands, and I'm not familiar with them because I don't usually listen to country. Sorry. Admission is $2. Proceeds will be for the Libby and Abby softball park fund. Yeah, but what about the trails? You know, what about were there any? There was money raised to fix up the trails, to put cameras out there, and to provide some type of security. Anybody knows if any of that construction's going on, or if they put cameras up, or what they did with the funds that were allocated for that? Anybody know that? I don't. Okay. About the investigation and the suspect. Oh, that promises like that's going to be interesting reading, but I bet it'll fall short. Let's see. About the investigation and the suspect. That was in bold letters. Police continue to look for a white male between 5'6" and 5'10" weighing 180 to 200 pounds with reddish-brown hair. The description was taken from images on Libby German's cell phone of a man walking across Monon High Bridge that day, wearing blue jeans, a blue jacket, and a hat, and from composites done by FBI sketch artists based on information from a witness who saw the man filling that description. Now, there was stuff going around that the sketch was made from several witnesses put together, so I don't know. I don't know any more than you do, my trusted listeners and watchers. Okay, in bold type, what you can do. Anyone with information about the case may call the Delphi Homicide Investigation Tip Line at 844-459-5786. The Indiana State Police at 800-382-7537. The Carroll County Sheriff's Department at 765-564-2413. Or by email to abbyandlibby@cacoshrf.com. Donations to the Abby and Libby Softball Park Fund may be made in care of the Carroll County Community Foundation, P.O. Box 538, Delphi 46923, or online at www.cfcarroll.org. Reach David Bangert, that's the person who did this article, this interview, at 765-420-5258, or at dbangert@jconline.com. I think I read that right. It's kind of hard to see the print here, so I was right. Seeking information from the unknown suspect. Well, that was a sweet interview with Kelsi. Sounds like a really nice girl. So I thought I'd put that out there for everybody. And as of this video, Bridge Guy has not been caught. So we'll keep at it and see what happens. Anybody know anything new? I've been out of the loop for a couple days. Been busy. No suspect caught yet. Bridge Guy. Bridge Guy and Halloween. That's terrible. Alrighty, y'all. Thank you for viewing. Peace.